If you think shade gardens are boring, then you're planting the wrong plants. Do you have a corner of your garden that feels a bit sad because it doesn't see a lot of sun? Maybe it's under a large oak tree or in the northern part of your property that sees very little light. For a long time, gardeners thought shade was a problem, but I'm here to tell you that it's actually a massive opportunity. Shade gardens are peaceful, lush, and with the right plants, they can be the most colorful part of your yard. Today, we're going to talk about the top 10 shade perennials to make those dark spots in your yard truly shine. Starting at our number 10 spot on our list is the lovely Pulmonaria, which many people refer to as lugwort. This plant is a true hero of spring because it's one of the first plants to flower while the rest of the garden is just waking up. It has these really interesting fuzzy green leaves that are often covered in bright silver spots, making the foliage look great even when the flowers are gone. One of the reasons we love Pulmonaria so much is that it is incredibly tough and very rarely bothered by deer or rabbits, thanks to that slightly hairy texture on the leaves. If you want to add a stunning splash of blue to your garden, you should definitely look for the Trevi Fountain variety. This plant is a showstopper, featuring iridescent blue blooms that look incredible next to its shimmering silver spotted foliage. Because it grows in such a tidy, compact shape, it's a fantastic way to brighten up those dark corners while keeping your landscape looking organized. At number 9, we have a plant for those of you who want to make a big, bold statement, Ligularia. Also known as the leper plant, it is a perfect choice if you have a dark, shady area that stays wet or damp. Unlike many other plants that hate wet feet, Ligularia thrives in moisture and produces massive, leathery leaves that give your garden a tropical, jungle feel even in cooler climates. It's a great way to add a different texture to your landscape. We highly recommend the variety called the Rocket. It lives up to its name by sending up tall, jagged spikes of bright yellow flowers in the middle of summer. These yellow rockets can grow quite high, providing a beautiful vertical element that contrasts perfectly with its dark, tooth-edged green leaves. As always, if you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of our upcoming gardening tips. Coming in at number 8 is the charming Tiarella, otherwise known as foam flower. This fantastic North American native that feels right at home in a woodland setting or under a canopy of large trees. It's a low-growing plant that spreads gently to form a lush carpet of greenery. What makes Tiarella so special is the way it blooms. It produces these delicate, frothy spikes of tiny, star-shaped flowers that look like a cloud of foam floating above the leaves. It's a very low-maintenance plant and it stays fresh-looking all season. And at number 7 is Brunnera macrophylla, often called Siberian blue gloss. If you're a fan of forget-me-nots but want something that lasts a bit longer, then this is the plant for you. Brunnera is famous for its large, heart-shaped leaves that feel almost like sandpaper to the touch. It's incredibly hardy and can handle cold winters without any trouble. And once it's established, it's a reliable performer year after year. The best part is the tiny sky blue flowers that appear in the spring, which look like little jewels. For a truly spectacular look, you have to find the variety called Jack Frost. This is probably the most famous variety because the leaves are almost entirely silver with a thin green vein, making the plant look like it has been hit by a permanent coating of morning frost. It acts as a literal light bulb in dark corners, reflecting any available light. And at number 6, we have the elegant Astilbe. If you want to add height and soft, feathery textures to your shade garden, this is your best friend. Astilbe is well loved because it offers both beautiful fern-like foliage and tall, fluffy plumes of flowers that come in shades of white, pink, purple, and red. They are wonderful for cutting and bringing indoors because they're perfect for any flower arrangement. They love rich, organic soil and plenty of water, so they're perfect for those spots near a pond. A classic variety that never fails to impress is called Fennel. It is known for its deep, bronzy green foliage and its striking blood red flower spikes. Planting a group of these together creates this beautiful sea of red that looks stunning in shade. Halfway through our list at number 5 is Heucherella. This is a very cool designer plant because it's actually a hybrid, a cross between Heuchera and Tiarella. By crossing these two, gardeners created a plant that has the incredible leaf colors of a Heucherella, but the hardy, vigorous growth and heat tolerance of a Tiarella. It's the best of both worlds. These are great for adding a pop of color to the front of a border or even in containers. If you want something that looks warm and inviting, I suggest the variety Sweet Tea. It features huge, deeply lobed leaves in shades of apricot, orange, and cinnamon with a dark star in the center. The colors actually change with the season, becoming more intense as the weather cools down, giving you a shifting palette of color throughout the year. If you're falling in love with these plants and want to start your own shade paradise, we have some great news. We have all of these varieties available for shipping across Canada on our online store at www.wildwoodexpress.com. And at number 4, we have the Japanese painted fern. While most ferns are just plain green, this one is like a live painting. It's a deciduous fern, meaning it dies back in the winter and returns in the spring with delicate arching fronds that feature shades of silver, burgundy, and soft blue-green. It's a slow-growing plant, but it's very long-lived and adds a sophisticated, airy texture that balances out plants with larger leaves. For a variety that really shows off these colors, look for Regal Red. This specific variety is stunning because the interior stems and the base of the leaves are a deep, royal purple red, which contrasts sharply against the bright silver tips of the fronds. It's one of the most colorful ferns you can possibly grow. All right, we've hit our top 3, and for number 3, we have the incredible Heucherella, also known as coral bells. This plant is a favorite for almost every shade gardener because the color options are nearly endless. You can find them in lime green, bright yellow, deep orange, and even black. They grow in tidy round mounds and are often evergreen in many climates, which means you'll have something pretty to look at even in the middle of winter. They also produce tiny bell-shaped flowers on stems that hummingbirds absolutely love. While there are hundreds of choices, Palace Purple is an absolute Hall of Fame classic. It features large maple-shaped leaves in a beautiful muted purple bronze that holds its color all season long. It's the perfect pick for those wanting to add a little bit of elegance and drama without all the extra maintenance. Our runner-up at number 2 is the Hellebore or Lenten Rose. This plant is special because it blooms when almost nothing else is brave enough to face the cold. Depending on where you live, hellebores can bloom in late winter or very early spring, sometimes even pushing their flowers up through the snow. They have thick, leathery, evergreen leaves that look tough and architectural all year round. They are also very drought tolerant once they have grown a deep root system, making them one of the lowest maintenance plants on the list. And finally, coming in at number 1 is the undisputed king of the shade area, the hosta. No shade garden is complete without at least one hosta, or possibly 5. These plants are the backbone of a shady landscape because they are incredibly easy to grow, very long-lived, and come in thousands of different sizes, shapes, and colors. Whether you want a tiny hosta that fits a teacup or a giant one that grows 4 feet wide, there is a variety out there for you. They are the masters at filling space and suppressing weeds with their large, overlapping leaves. If you want a variety that is widely considered one of the most beautiful ever created, then you've got to get June. It has thick, slug-resistant leaves with a bright gold center and a beautiful blue-green margin. It's a showstopper that looks different depending on how much light gets it, and it will truly be the star of your shade garden. And there you have it. That was our top 10 list for having a stunning shade perennial garden. And we'd love to know which one of these shade plants is one of your favorite, or do you have a shade loving plant that didn't make our list? Tell us in the comments below.